Argentinian Dogo, the national pride of Argentina. It is the first and only breed of dog developed in this country. A snow-white athlete with a kind soul, it combines external strength and family affection. Many who see such a dog for the first time get scared and whisper to their children, "Don't approach. It's a killer dog." However, Argentine dog owners prove otherwise. Neighbors often admit that the Dogo is surprisingly gentle and has a good temperament. With one real story, this white guardian angel earned eternal fame. In 2008 in Argentina, a dog named Morocco, an Argentine Dogo, fearlessly confronted a deadly puma to protect two little girls. They had climbed a tree to gather figs, and the predator was lying in wait among the branches. Naturally, the puma intended to attack the girls. Hearing their screams, Morocco immediately rushed at the puma and saved the girls at the cost of his own injuries. The father ran to the call and saw a horrifying scene. The beloved dog was severely injured, and next to him lay the defeated mountain lion. Fortunately, the dog was healed in 10 days, and both girls were unharmed. Morocco became a legend, once again highlighting the incredible bravery of this breed. The history of the breed. Unlike Tibetan dogs with a millennia-long history, the Dogo Argentino is a young breed. The Dogo first appeared in 1925 with two brothers, avid hunters, who believed that European dogs were unsuitable for the Argentine landscape and game. And indeed, nature here is uniquely its own. It is unlikely that anywhere else in the world during a hunt one needs to cross vast plains and dense forests, swamps, and inaccessible mountains. And that's not all, because there are many more wild animals here than in Europe, but they are more cunning and aggressive. Besides wild boars, pumas are also very common here, and under such special conditions a special hunting dog is needed. But in the 1920s such a dog does not yet exist. That is why Antonio and Agustin Norris Martinez, two brothers we have already mentioned, decided to create a new breed. The first dog that caught their attention was a Perro de Pelea Cordobés, which we see in this rare photograph. The name of the breed means fighting dog from Cordova. It became famous for its ferocity and was nicknamed the Skinner. The Norris brothers needed a brave, untamed, aggressive dog with a strong character, and Perro de Pel is exactly the breed that combines all these qualities. Moreover, it was bred in Argentina, which guarantees that the dog is well adapted to the natural and climatic conditions of the country. The Perro de Pel also has its disadvantages. It is quite difficult to tame, and it completely lacks hunting skills. Moreover, this fighting dog hates its own kind, whereas a good hunter should chase boars, not its peers. And so, to create the future Mastiff, the brothers used 10 other dog breeds. A true formula for the ideal dog was achieved. From the Cordoba fighting dog, strength and resilience; from the Bull Terrier, fearless courage; from the Old English Bulldog, a deadly jaw grip; from the Boxer, a softer and more friendly character; from the Great Dane, tall height; from the Bordeaux Mastiff, mass and strength; from the Irish Wolfhound, running speed; from the Pointer, keen sense of smell and hunting instinct; from the Pyrenean Mountain Dog, endurance and snow-white coat; and from the Spanish Mastiff, proud posture and self-assurance. In 1928, Antonio published the first standard of the new breed, describing this blend of qualities. Decades of hard work did not go in vain. In the year 1964, the Argentine Dogo was officially recognized by the Argentine Cynological Federation, and in '73 by the Fédération Cynologique Internationale. Thus, the unique breed was born, the Dogo Argentino, the Argentine Mastiff. Working qualities and use. The primary purpose of the Dogo Argentino became hunting large game, primarily wild boar and puma, the mountain lion. The breed was specifically developed for this task, resulting in one of the most effective hunting dogs in the world. Usually, hunting is carried out by a pack of 3 to 5 dogs, which silently track down a boar in the thickets without scaring the prey with barking, surround it, and instantly attack from several sides. Argentines hunt only with white dogs so that the hunter can distinguish the dog and not accidentally stab it with a knife in the heat of the moment. By the way, the dogs are often sent after the boar without firearms. People go with knives, relying on the powerful dogs. This requires immense trust and mutual understanding between the dogs and the human. The dogs must work cooperatively, without getting distracted by fights with each other, and follow commands even in the heat of battle. Otherwise, the hunt would turn into chaos. Surprisingly, due to careful selection, their temperament has become balanced. Argentine dogs can hunt game together without fighting among themselves, which has been proven in practice. Result: in just a few years, the new breed outshone all competitors. In many countries where there were native breeds for hunting wild boar, it was the dogs that became valued as the most persistent and effective hunting dogs. Over time, the Dogo Argentino proved to be a versatile breed. Its strength and loyalty allowed these dogs to be used not only in hunting, but also in guarding homes and property. From a hunter, it became an excellent bodyguard and watchdog. Their keen sense of smell made these dogs indispensable helpers in search and rescue operations. It is known that the white Argentines were used for finding people under rubble and in forests. High intelligence and endurance allow them to serve in the police. Such dogs are trained to find drugs, explosives, detain criminals, participate in search and rescue operations, and so on. However, a problem was revealed: an excessively powerful jaw. When released on a suspect, the Argentine Dogo would seize them so powerfully that it caused very severe injuries. It's not about disobedience, it's just that the compressed, square, massive jaws caused much more serious injuries than, say, a German Shepherd. Dog handlers could not predict the strength and location of the bite in advance, and as a result, this breed was abandoned by the police to avoid risking the health of detainees. Character and behavior in the family. The scary tale of the killer dog haunts this breed undeservedly. In reality, the Argentine Dogo is a dog with a balanced temperament, a companion, and very obedient with children. Breeders emphasize that aggressiveness towards humans was deliberately eliminated through selection. As a result, a properly raised Dogo loves the family and is especially attached to children. He is incredibly patient with children's antics. Even if a child plays with him roughly, the big white friend will tolerantly endure the games. Many owners recall how initially passers-by would avoid their pet, but later, after getting to know him, were surprised by his kindness. Of course, without proper training, it is dangerous to keep such a large dog. In inexperienced hands, even a naturally kind Dogo can grow up to be uncontrollable. There's a well-known saying among dog breeders: there are no evil breeds, only bad training. Experts point out that attacks by Argentine dogs on people are rare, and usually due to owners' serious mistakes. With proper socialization, the Argentine Dogo is not aggressive without reason. It is wary of strangers on its territory and may warn a guest with a growl, but will never attack without cause. But if it senses a real threat to its owner, it will instantly stand between them and the offender. These dogs are known for their boundless bravery. The courage of their fighting ancestors still lives in them. The dog, like a gladiator, will not back down from any opponent if it is defending its person. Despite this, in everyday life they are quite calm and even affectionate dogs. They are not prone to worry about trifles and do not bark unnecessarily. They love spending time with the family. It is important for them to be full-fledged members of the pack. With children, Great Danes are usually nannies and protectors. But it is important to explain to a child from an early age that even a patient dog needs personal space. Do not pull its ears, do not go near its bowl, and do not wake it suddenly from sleep. If the child respects the pet, the friendship will be strong. But with other animals, it's more complicated. A strong hunting instinct is a double-edged sword. What makes a Dogo an ideal hunter prevents it from living with small pets. There are known cases where Argentines tracked and killed pet rats, pulling them out of their cages. A cat in the house will often be perceived as potential prey by a Dogo unless it grew up with it. With larger dogs, there may be a struggle for dominance. The Dogo is naturally dominant. They particularly often do not tolerate other large males. Therefore, it is very important to socialize the puppy early and systematically, exposing it to a variety of animals, people, and situations. Then there is a high chance that the Argentine will react calmly to street dogs and cats. But you can't let him walk without a leash in the city. Hunting excitement can suddenly awaken, and the dog will chase a running cat, not hearing commands. It is important to emphasize that the Argentine Dogo is not the best choice for a beginner. This breed requires an experienced handler, a confident yet kind mentor. The Dogo is highly trainable, but senses weakness. If the owner is not authoritative, the dog will start making decisions on its own. An independent decision by a 50-kilogram fighter is a risk. Therefore, the owner needs to establish a clear hierarchy from a young age. I, leader, you, follow. Without rudeness, but persistently. Then the Argentinian will respect and listen. Otherwise, there is a high chance of behavioral problems. However, when training and discipline are properly conducted, it's an amazingly obedient dog. Many Dogo Argentinos successfully pass obedience tests, agility, and even freestyle. Just seeing such a giant nearby who follows a command at the first word is already impressive. Physical characteristics and health. The Dogo Argentino is a large molosser, but is more athletically built than, for example, Mastiffs or St. Bernards. Males reach 60 to 68 centimeters at the withers. Females 60 to 65 centimeters with a weight of 40 to 45 kilograms for males and 40 to 43 kilograms for females according to the standard. In practice, there are also heavier individuals, up to 55 to 60 kilograms, especially if the dog is overfed or from an unusual mating. The breed has a strong build, well-defined muscles, and short, dense, smooth fur. The coat is only white, but a small dark spot around the eye, covering no more than 10% of the head, is allowed. However, a purely white dog is preferred. Spotted puppies are disqualified from breeding. The white color is the hallmark of the breed and a tribute to the creator's design. Thanks to it, the dogs were clearly visible from afar, in thickets, and not confused with the hunting target. As I already mentioned, to establish the white color, Martinez used the Pyrenean mountain dog in breeding. As a result, all Argentine dogs are born white. The average lifespan is 10 to 12 years. With good care, they often live to 14 or 15. When it comes to endurance, these dogs are surprising. They can run over rough terrain for hours, chasing a target, and they do not back down from a fight even with injuries. Their pain threshold is very high. Hunters have said that a Mastiff with broken ribs still held onto a boar until the end. It's impossible not to mention their bite strength. The jaws of the Argentine Dogo are like steel clamps. It's no wonder that in a fight it can break a puma's spine or bite through a boar's neck with one bite. There aren't many official measurements, but the figure of 500 psi is often cited, one of the highest in the dog world. For comparison, a German Shepherd has 240 pounds per square inch. Doberman, 305 psi, Rottweiler, 330 psi. It is important to note, in everyday life, a dog is not eager to use its power for no reason. As they say, if you have strength, you don't need brains. But fortunately, this breed combines strength with intelligence and poise. Without reason, the dog will not bite anyone, and will only engage its crocodile jaws on command or when there is a clear threat to its owner. In a calm setting, it's a gentle giant more likely to kiss you to death than to bite. Comparison with other breeds. The Argentine Dogo is often compared to other well-known fighting and guard dogs. Who is stronger? Who is more dangerous? Who would win? Let's look at a few breeds. The American Pit Bull Terrier, Pit Bull. This dog is significantly smaller than the Argentine, about 45-50 centimeters at the withers, weighing 25 kilograms, but is famous for its ferocity in battle. The breed was developed for dogfights, and the Pit Bull is often called the most tenacious and game, from English game, meaning enthusiastic, does not give up until the end. Its bite force is certainly lower, about 300 pounds per square inch, but for that body mass, it's a lot. A Pit Bull, once it bites, can hold its grip for hours and not let go. This breed is phenomenally patient. In a one-on-one fight against a Mastiff, a Pit Bull has little chance. The difference in weight and size is too great. However, There are known cases where specially trained pit bulls have defeated larger opponents. Enthusiasts of the breed boast that a pit can take down a dogo if it is young or poorly trained. Nevertheless, the large Argentinian usually prevails. He simply pins the pit bull down. The pit bull is more excitable, may be aggressive towards other dogs, but usually, with proper selection, is kind to people. In the United States, pit bulls were even called nanny dogs in families. The Argentine is calmer, although independent. Both dogs require strict discipline but can become reliable and loving companions. Kangal, Anatolian Shepherd Dog. If a pit bull is smaller than a mastiff, the Kangal, on the contrary, is larger. The Turkish Kangal is a giant among shepherd dogs, often reaching 80 centimeters at the withers and weighing up to 70 kilograms. This breed is famous as the best wolfhound in the world. Several Kangals are excellent at protecting a flock of sheep from steppe wolves. The Kangal officially has the strongest bite among dogs, 743 pounds per square inch. Both breeds have incredibly powerful jaws. The difference in fighting tactics: the Kangal is a guard shepherd. It fights defensively, cautiously, and wisely. When encountering an enemy, a wolf, a bear, the Kangal will first warn with a growl and stance, assess the opponent, and if it runs away, it will not chase. It fights methodically, often trying to scare and drive the enemy away rather than kill. The dog is a true hunter. Upon spotting prey, it silently closes a distance and charges directly to catch and bring down. Its goal is not to chase away, but to win. Therefore, in a one-on-one fight, a young Kangal may lose to a fierce Argentinian who doesn't feel pain and goes all the way. But an adult, experienced Kangal wolfhound, especially one that is heavier, will likely prevail due to its size and thicker coat, or in other words, its armor. Especially considering that in Turkey, Kangals have been selected for thousands of years. The weak perished, the strongest survived. In any case, both of these breeds are the elite of the dog breeding world, national treasures of their countries. Cane Corso, Italian Mastiff. Another large fellow, Cane Corso, originally from Italy. This breed resembles the Argentine Dogo in size. Height is about 62 to 70 centimeters, weight 45 to 50 kilograms. Cane Corso is a descendant of Roman fighting dogs. Cane Corso translates to guard dog. In the past, Corso dogs were used for hunting boars, for bull baiting, and as warriors. Today, it is primarily a guard and a companion. By nature, the Cane Corso is usually calmer and more manageable than the Argentinian dog. It is focused on protecting its owner and property, but not as eager in pursuing prey. Therefore, if we compare their working qualities, in boar hunting, the Argentinian dog is probably more effective. After all, it was specifically bred for this purpose. The Cane Corso excels as a guard dog. Fearless, distrustful of strangers, it immediately stops any attempt of intrusion into its territory. As for its strength, the Corso's jaws are indeed powerful, with a bite force attributed to it of 600 psv. In a fight between a Corso and a dog, much would depend on individual superiority, who is better trained and braver. Both breeds are extremely strong physically. The dog is faster and more reckless. The Corso is heavier and more enduring. However, neither can be called specially designed for dogfighting. This is not a pit bull. Therefore, we hope such matches will remain only in the imagination of those who like to argue. It is much more interesting to see how the Corso and the Dog serve humans together, each in their own role. After all, both breeds are excellent bodyguards and family members with the right approach. Cultural significance and interesting facts. The Argentine Dogo is more than just a breed. It is a symbol of national sinology. In Argentina, it is called El Gran Perro Blanco, the big white dog, the pride of the Pampas. In the year 2020, the Dogo Argentino was officially recognized by the American Kennel Club and included in the working group of breeds, which increased its popularity in North America. Today, these dogs are found on every continent. However, such fame also has a downside. The Argentine Dogo is banned in several countries by law. As of the year 2025, at least 10 countries have imposed a ban or strict restrictions. Among them are the United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, Denmark, Norway, and Venezuela. These countries have classified Argentinians as dangerous breeds, alongside pit bulls, Fila Brasileiro, and Tosa Inu. The reason is the cases of using the dogs in illegal fights, as well as rare incidents of attacks caused by owners' negligence. In Argentina itself, there is a completely opposite attitude towards the dogs. They are national heroes. The best representatives of the breed participate in exhibitions and festivals. Their images can be found on postage stamps and souvenirs. In conclusion, it can be said that the Argentine Dogo is the embodiment of dualism. It combines angelic loyalty to the family with devilish fury in battle. He can sleep on the couch with his nose buried in a child, and the next day face an angry boar without fear. It all depends on whose hands this power is in. If the owner is responsible and caring, the puppy will grow into a loyal, obedient, and affectionate friend. But if you let things drift, or worse, deliberately foster aggression, you can end up with a dangerous weapon that knows no mercy. Fortunately, most Argentine dogs are kind pets living the normal life of household companions. They chase balls, love treats, and nap by the fireplace just like any other dogs. Only their size and white fur make them stand out from the crowd. And of course, the legends about their feats do too. Now you know what lies behind the formidable image of this white athlete. This is a protector from Pumas, a nanny, a hunter, and a champion in hugs all at once. What do you think about the Argentine Dogo? Write in the comments which trait of this breed impressed you the most. Maybe you have your own story or opinion. Be sure to share. Also, suggest which breed we should cover in the next episode. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and share the link with your friends. Subscribe to the channel. There are many more amazing stories about four-legged champions ahead. Happiness to you and your pets.